You know that classic, kind of terrifying sci-fi thought experiment? What if, one day, our sun just vanished? Not with a bang, not with a slow fade. Just poof, gone. What would actually happen to us here on Earth? All right, let's dive into this truly cosmic catastrophe. So just imagine it. The sun disappears. What do you think is the very first thing we'd notice? Would we all instantly freeze? Would gravity just let go and fling us out into space? Seriously, take a second, because I'm willing to bet the answer is not what you think. Believe it or not, for a full 8 minutes, absolutely nothing would change. The sky would be blue, life would go on, and you would have no idea that the very heart of our solar system just blinked out of existence. It's this bizarre, unbelievable little grace period. So, why? Why do we get these final 8 minutes of blissful ignorance? Well, it all boils down to a fundamental speed limit baked into the fabric of the universe. Nothing, and I mean nothing, not light, not gravity, not a single bit of information can travel faster than the speed of light. The physics behind this has a kind of weird-sounding name, retarded time. It sounds strange, but really all it means is that there's a delay. Any change to something massive, like our sun disappearing, can only be felt after enough time has passed for those effects to actually travel across space and get to us. And get this, it's not just about the light. Thanks to Einstein's theory of relativity, we know that gravity travels at the exact same speed. So that means, for 8 minutes, Earth would keep on orbiting a ghost. We'd literally be held in our orbit by the gravity of a star that wasn't even there anymore. All right, those 8 minutes are up. And this is where all hell breaks loose. Two absolutely catastrophic things would happen at the exact same time, hitting us with zero warning. First, boom, the lights go out. Instantly, the entire planet is plunged into a permanent, deep, dark night, with only the faint light of distant stars left. And since the moon and the other planets only shine because they reflect sunlight, they'd vanish from our sky too, becoming just dark specks in the blackness. At that very same instant, the gravitational leash snaps. Earth would no longer be tied to anything. It wouldn't spiral out. It would just shoot off in a perfectly straight line, becoming a rogue planet hurtling through the empty void of interstellar space. Now, you're probably thinking the biggest danger is crashing into something, right? But space is, well, it's ridiculously empty. As one Reddit user pointed out, the odds of our rogue Earth actually hitting another planet or a star are incredibly, incredibly small. No, the immediate threat isn't a cosmic collision, it's the cold. So with our planetary furnace switched off, Earth starts this terrifying descent into an endless winter. The planet would just start bleeding heat out into space with nothing to replace it. And the fallout from that would be, well, catastrophic. And this deep freeze, it would happen shockingly fast. Within just a few days, surface temperatures would start to plummet. In only about 2 months, the oceans would be covered in a thick crust of ice. And over the next 1,000 years or so, that freeze would just keep going, all the way to the ocean floor, turning Earth into a solid ball of ice. The final state of the planet is just hard to even imagine. The average temperature would eventually hit about minus 250 degrees Celsius. I mean, it gets so cold that the very air we breathe, our atmosphere, would literally freeze solid and just fall to the ground like snow, leaving the surface in an almost perfect vacuum. It's such a surreal, horrifying image, and it was captured perfectly in a sci-fi story recalled by a Reddit user. He described a survivor who literally has to go outside in a homemade spacesuit with a bucket to collect frozen air, bring it inside, and then boil it back into something he can breathe. Wow. Okay, so the surface is obviously a write-off, a complete lost cause. But what about down below? Could humanity actually survive by tapping into the geothermal heat coming from our planet's molten core? This was the big question in a really fascinating Reddit thread. According to one user, survival basically boils down to nailing 3 absolutely critical things. First, you've got temperature. We'd have to drill deep to get to the Earth's natural heat. Second, air and water. We need a perfect, closed-loop recycling system, kind of like a spaceship. And third, food. A totally self-sustainable underground farm. But, and this is a huge but, here's the cold, hard truth. As another user pointed out, that is a monumental task.
I mean, we've tried to build closed biospheres right here on Earth. Remember Biosphere 2? And we failed. Our technology just isn't there yet. We don't really know how to create a truly self-sustaining ecosystem for the long haul. But let's just pretend for a second that we solve all that. We've got heat, we've got air, we've got food. It turns out the freezing darkness, it isn't even our biggest problem. There's an invisible killer the sun was protecting us from all along.
You see, we always think of the sun as giving us light and heat, right? But it's also our bodyguard. Its massive magnetic field creates this huge protective bubble around the entire solar system. And if the sun is gone, that shield is gone too. And it's not just one shield we lose, it's two. First, the heliosphere, that's the sun's bubble. It would disappear almost right away, letting in all this harsh radiation from deep space. And then, much more slowly, as the Earth's core cools over thousands of years, our own magnetic shield would fail too, leaving us completely defenseless. So what's getting through? Something called cosmic rays. These are super high-energy particles shot out from things like exploding stars across the galaxy. Without the sun's shield to push them away, they'd just pepper our planet. Even deep underground, the radiation would build up, leading to lethal cancer rates and frying the sensitive electronics we'd need to survive. So the full picture is just devastating. Losing the sun doesn't just mean going from a warm, bright home to a cold, dark one. It means going from being this little protected bubble of life to a barren, irradiated rock, completely exposed to all the dangers of the galaxy. So it really leaves you with a final, chilling thought. In that desperate fight for survival deep beneath the ice, would humanity's greatest enemy be the suffocating cold, or would it be the invisible, relentless radiation raining down from the very stars we once wished upon?